Man and a woman are eating dinner. Woman turns to her husband and says, "So, dear, what are you doing tomorrow?" Man says, "Well, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get the dog. I'm going to hook up the trailer. I'm going fishing." Wife goes, "That's all you ever do is go fishing. You spend more time with the dog than you do with me. I want to go fishing tomorrow." He goes, "Okay, fine. Fine, you want to go fishing tomorrow. You say this all the time, and you never go. I'm waking you up tomorrow morning, and you're going fishing." Fast forward to the next morning. 6 o'clock. Guy wakes up, nudges his wife. Says, "Honey, 6 o'clock. I'm getting the dog, taking a shower. We're going fishing." She goes, "Nah." Well, she's a little smug, because she figures she won the argument last night, because he's waking her up today. So she's like, "Well, I'll tell you what. I really don't want to go fishing. I just want to sleep in. You go ahead and take a shower, go fishing by yourself." Husband goes, "No, no, 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 no. We're not doing this again. I tell you what, I'm going to go take a shower. When I get done taking a shower, I'm going to come back over here. You're either going fishing, or you're going to let me have sex with your butt, or you're going to give me a blowjob. One of those three things is going to happen." He storms off. Half an hour later, he comes back to the bedroom wearing a towel. She went back to sleep. He wakes her back up and says, "Honey, we're going fishing." She goes, "I really don't want to go fishing. I'll tell you what. I'm not going to let you have sex with my butt. No. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a blowjob and you can go fishing." He goes, "Fine." Takes his towel off. She starts her business. About 20 seconds in, she stops and looks up at him and says, "Are you sure you took a shower, honey? Your dick tastes like shit." He goes, "Of course I took a shower." Funny thing is, though, the dog, he doesn't want to go fishing either.
Live from Casa de Clark in beautiful Independence, Iowa, it's Unemployed with your host, Matt Clark. Promotional consideration paid for by The Curry, your new home personal robot. The Curry can do it all. It can talk. It can play music. Interact with your children. Interact with you. He's your new best friend, The Curry. It started, people. They're coming to take over. I'm telling you, it's Skynet, the Terminator, all that crap. James Cameron was telling the truth. We've got to stop them now. Soylent Green is people. Sorry about that. Here's your host, Matt Clark.
Hey. Calm down. Morning, Max. Greetings, Internet, YouTube, children of all ages. It's I, your unemployed superhero. Music Conservatory, JP100D on the shoulder, ESP's over there. Max just ran out of the room. It is around noonish on the 3rd of January. The first of the year has come and gone. Hope you had a good New Year's and hope your Christmas was a good Christmas. My holidays went fairly well. They went uneventful, so for me that's a good thing when my holidays go uneventful. Quick check. Still unemployed. Sister still sick. Dad's still crazy. Everything's pretty much routine around here. It is Tuesday. Quick recap of my situation. If you've watched some of the earlier videos from this holiday season, you'll know that I have a job interview tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I'm going to put my socks on. I just got out of the shower. That's why the hair is a little goofy. About 1 o'clock tomorrow in a town called Waukee, Iowa. which is just outside of Des Moines. The job itself is not in Des Moines. The job is in Waterloo, which is the city I used to work in. If you don't know where Waterloo and Waukee are, they're in old videos. Feel free to go back in time. All my videos are still up here on YouTube, so feel free to go back in time and look up where those cities are. Waukee is about a 2.5 hour drive from here, where I am sitting at the moment. Come on. Well, come on. Max, what are you bending away for? It's about an hour and a half, 2.5 hour drive from here. Waukee is. Better be a good interview. It better be a job. There better be a job offer coming from this interview, because I'm driving 2.5 hours for an interview which will probably last about an hour at best. We'll see. It may last. I don't know how long it'll last. I'm not predicting it's going to be a job. I'm just saying if it's not a job, I may have to... So here's the shitty thing. I drive 2.5 hours there, do the interview. They'll tell me, we'll come back and tell you about it later. Then I drive 2.5 hours back home. Then like a week later, I found I didn't get the job. Am I going to drive 2.5 hours to go kick the living shit out of somebody? Really? That's tough. Tough call. So yeah. I'm hoping it turns out good. It'd be a nice job. It'll be a very, it should be an easy job. I don't know how much they're going to pay. About what I was doing at my old job. Maybe more desktop support than I was doing at the old job. But desktop support's nothing, trust me. So that's pretty much the highlight of my week is tomorrow. I told you Wednesdays, for some reason, is HR day in Iowa. Everything happens on a Wednesday when it comes to HR in Iowa. I don't know why. I hope this one turns out, because right now it's about the only opportunity on my plate at the moment. If I don't get anything from this job, then chances are, even if I get an interview sometime this month, January will be a non-working month, and I'm getting tired of not working. We're getting close to Walmart greeter. And Max is kind of depressed about that too. So that's what's going on in my life at the moment. That's the big update anyway. It's been a pretty quiet holiday weekend. My dad was here. He's back home, back at the home now. Everything's on tomorrow. It's going to be a long day today. I actually woke up at 7 o'clock this morning because I couldn't sleep. It's going to be worse tonight because I'm going to be anxious to get down there, get the interview done with, and find out my fate. So yeah, it's going to be a long one today, I have a feeling. It's going to be a long one. So, this is the point of the video. You should know for the next 15-20 minutes, we'll figure it out. I know there's a group of people out there that aren't sports people. A lot of what happened this weekend was sports related. New Year's Day, Monday, I gave everybody, Sunday, I gave everybody the rundown of kind of the year in review. Over the weekend, specifically yesterday, there was mostly a lot of sports over the weekend. That's what I want to talk about now. UFC happened over the weekend. The football playoffs the NFL playoffs are set. They start up this weekend, and the college bowl season is pretty much over. So, if you're not a sports fan, if you don't care about sports, this would be a good time to turn off the video or keep watching it for my lovely, amusing repartee, my bon vivance, if you will, my stuff. By the way, this is Coke Zero. I don't do a lot of Coke products. I drank some of this where I used to work. I actually bought a 12-pack of it, so it was at my gas station for pretty cheap. It's not bad. Still, my favorite diet drink has to be Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry. I'm not getting paid to model the Coke Zero. Coke Zero. It's like sex, but pop. Anyway, yeah, I don't get advertising money for Coke Zero, so drink it if you want, don't drink it if you want. I don't care. So yeah, Coke Zero to you. So, more of my pointless verbiage, if you will. Yeah, if you don't like sports, this next 10, 20 minutes or so may not amuse you very much. So let's talk. First of all, let's talk Ronda Rousey. I haven't talked about Ronda Rousey yet. I don't dislike Ronda Rousey. I have no problem with Ronda Rousey. I'm not big on women's MMA. I don't enjoy watching women beat the shit out of each other. I appreciate their skill. It's just not my... I don't watch women's basketball. I watch women's volleyball, and not for the titties. I think there's very good women volleyball players out there. Women's diving, I'll watch women's diving. I don't like soccer, period, so women's soccer is out. I've played fast softball, girly softball. It ain't girly, I'll tell you that. Hitting a softball going 90 miles an hour at your head is not easy to do. So I have respect for those girls. They train just as hard as the guys. I'm just not a big fan of women's MMA. Just not a big fan of watching women. That's why I'm not a huge fan of women's wrestling. There's some stuff in Japan that I've watched for years. What can I say? Ronda Rousey got her ass smoked. Amanda Nunes, who is a bad girl. She's a tough woman. I'm not going to call her a chick. She's a tough woman. She kicked her ass. That was pretty bad. And people got to realize something about Ronda Rousey. And this is me. I have never fought. I've done a little MMA training in my life. I did some jiu-jitsu about, 10 years ago when I first injured my back. Because jiu-jitsu, here's a little messed up, because jiu-jitsu helps you with your flexibility quite a bit. And it's a nice way to do cardio without really doing a lot of damage to your joints and stuff. Fake jiu-jitsu as opposed to combat jiu-jitsu. In combat jiu-jitsu, they try to tear shit off. If you're just training in jiu-jitsu, they put you in the hole, then you tap before they actually do anything. So it's actually pretty easy on the body, but it's a great way to do cardio, by the way. If you know anybody if you know any place that trains jiu-jitsu, I recommend doing it because it's actually a very nice way to get cardio and help with your flexibility. I got a bad back, so it's kind of tough for me to do it now. But anyway, Ronda Rousey is a judoka, a judo practitioner, high level, Olympics level judo practitioner, which is not the same thing as a mixed martial artist. She can't punch. Holly Holm proved that. Holly Holm is a world-class female kickboxer. Holly Holm fought in Muay Thai competitions worldwide before she ever got into MMA. She got into MMA for the money, I assume, because there's no money in Muay Thai. Internationally, there probably is, but not in the States anyway. For some reason, America's never been big on kickboxing. I love kickboxing, but America's not big on kickboxing. Anyway, Amanda Nunes, there's three kinds of fighters from Brazil. There's Brazilians that are great at submission wrestling. Think Damian Maia, if you know who that is. Great submission grappler. There's great boxers that come from Brazil. MMA boxers that come. MMA boxing, that's the same as pro boxing, by the way. Think of the Nogueira brothers are great MMA boxers. And the third type are great Muay Thai fighters. There's so many of those, it's hard to name just one. Jose Aldo, great Muay Thai fighter. Normally, they're one of the three. They don't mix disciplines very. A great boxer is not necessarily a great submission fighter. A great submission fighter normally can't strike very well in Brazil. It's just the way they are. The Nogueiras can do both. They can box and they can submission wrestle. Silva, the Spider, Anderson Silva, can do both. That's why they were as good as they are. They were world-class fighters because very few Brazilians I found can do two things. They can just do one thing really, really great. That's just my opinion. Amanda Nunes is a great female boxer. She's long. She's got long arms. And she just piss-pounded Ronda Rousey. Ronda cannot fight. She's a judoka. She can take you down and snap shit. I have no problem. I believe that totally. I bet Ronda can take you down, put you to sleep, or break something off your body very effectively. Most judo practitioners can. But you can't fight in her feet. Holly Holm proved that. Amanda Nunes proved that. I think Ronda should retire because now that people know... Don't get me wrong, not everybody's going to be able to beat her. I think she's ran into two fighters that are built perfectly to beat her. But as long as Amanda Nunes is champion, she'll never beat her. There's no point. And Amanda Nunes is going to be champion for a while because there's not a lot of women out there that can fight like she can. She's so long and she hits so hard. She hits hard. I just don't see anybody beating her. Americans love to tear down superstars, whether they be sports figures, athletes, which are the same thing, actors, actresses, politicians. We love to tear down superstars. And Ronda's shown a crack in her veneer, and they're going to come for her. Trust me on that one. And I feel bad for Ronda because here's the thing. This is going to sound bad, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ronda's not hot. She's not. And I'm not the only person who says that. I know a lot of guys that will agree with me. She's not necessarily hot. She's not ugly. Don't get me wrong there. But Ronda is not hot. That hurts. It helps if you're hot. We'll give you a pass if you're female and you're hot. But Ronda, and she's been told she is, which I feel bad for Ronda because there's nothing worse than people telling you that you're a babe, knowing full well that you're not. And so, yeah, that sucks for Ronda. Such is the way of the world. That's the UFC, by the way, is in trouble. They've lost all of their superstars for the most part. Dominic Cruz lost last night, over the weekend, which surprised me. I thought Dominic Cruz was going to be pretty dominant for a long time, but apparently not. Let's see, what else? NFL playoffs. Let me pull something up here on the old internet here with the websites. The NFL playoffs are set. That's not what I want. There we go. Bragging and schedules. Okie doke. NFL playoffs. My Steelers won over the weekend. God bless Cleveland. For some reason, Ohio is a great football state, but they can't field a team. We'll get to Ohio State here in a few minutes. What a mess. The Browns and the Bengals are a mess, put it that way. My Steelers, they were already in, but they won over the weekend. What happened to the Washington Redskins? I got a buddy of mine who's a Redskins fan. I'm debating whether I want to fuck with him this morning or not. Probably not, but that would be mean. NFL playoffs start this weekend. January 7th, which is the beginning of the wild card round. That's Saturday, January 7th. This sucks, by the way. The first game is at like 3 o'clock, local Iowa time, 3 o'clock. It's 4:30 if you're in the East. That's the Texans and the Raiders, which is going to suck. That one's going to be bad. I heard Osweiler is going to actually be quarterbacking for the Texans. And the Raiders are going to dig up a quarterback. I don't know where they're going to find one. They're going to play Cook, that kid from... imagine that. Your second start in the NFL is going to be a wild card game. Good luck. Too bad, too. The Raiders are having a good year. Too bad. That's at 4:30 Eastern Time. Then the Seahawks play the Lions at 8 o'clock on NBC. The first game's on ABC. Second game's on NBC at 8 o'clock. That one might be a good... I don't think the Lions are going to beat them. I think the Seahawks are going to beat them because they'll be in Seattle. And Seattle's a better team, I think, personally. Although, to beat Detroit, you almost got to outscore them. So this will be interesting to see what happens. I'm picking Texans-Seahawks for those two games. Sunday, January 8th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 o'clock here in Iowa. The Dolphins play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Of course I'm picking Pittsburgh. Of course. It's Pittsburgh. At home in the playoffs. I'm picking Pittsburgh. They say Tannehill might start for the Dolphins. I don't believe it. Then at 4:40 on the East Coast, that's on CBS, by the way, Fox is going to have the Packers and the Giants. That's going to be interesting. I got to pick the Giants. I'm going to pick the Giants because the Packers just are too inconsistent for me, and the Giants got a great defensive run right now, and I'm picking the Giants in that one. So, Texans, Seahawks, Steelers, Giants. That's who I'm picking wild card weekend for the NFL. Divisional round is on the 14th and 15th. The Falcons will either play Seattle, Green Bay, or New York at home. New England will play Houston, Oakland, or Miami at home. And then on the 15th, the Chiefs will either play Pittsburgh, Houston, or Oakland. And the Cowboys will play the Packers, the Giants, or Detroit at home. Should be interesting. That's kind of why I'd like to see it be the Giants win that game, because the Giants against the Cowboys would be they've already beat them twice. Hard to beat a team 3 times, but the Giants, I think, just know how to beat them. I'm pointing. That means I'm anyway. We'll talk more about the divisional round next week after everything's set up this week. Which leads me to the final thing I'm going to talk about today. By the way, no cartoon 3-way on this video because I'm recapping maybe Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to do a video tomorrow or not. I'll get to that in a minute. Can you tell I don't script these things? College football. The playoff committee is a joke. I heard a couple of people this morning on the news, the talk show circuit, if you will, that you can't say anything bad about the playoff committee because hindsight's 2020. If you don't know it, the Ohio State Buckeyes were blanked by the Clemson Tigers like 31-0. It was a joke. They shouldn't have been in the game to begin with. It should have been Penn State lost too, so I can't say too much about Penn. By the way, the Big Ten had a really bad bowl season this year. Really bad. I think the biggest problem the Big Ten had is that they were matched up with teams that were built to beat them. Ohio State can run the ball. J.T. Barrett is not a good quarterback. If Urban Meyer's guilty of anything, it's that he put his cart with the wrong. He picked the wrong quarterback. J.T. Barrett's not a good quarterback. He just isn't. He can't throw the ball under pressure. And Clemson said, okay, we're going to put 3,000 guys in the box. We're going to blitz cheerleaders. And we're not going to let you run. And they didn't. And Ohio State got blown out. Cleaning my glasses. Yeah, Max agrees. They got blown out. So, Clemson was the perfect opponent because Clemson can stop the run. I watched them play Georgia Tech, who all they do is run at Georgia Tech, and they shut Georgia Tech down pretty well. So they got the perfect opponent in that game. If you're a conspiracy theorist, which I am, I do believe the playoff structure was set up to make the rematch happen. Washington ran into the perfect opponent in Alabama. Washington has a suspect offensive line. Alabama has the best. I always play with my hair. Washington had a suspect offensive line, and Alabama has like the perfect front seven to kill anybody. So they ran into a buzzsaw. Washington got the perfect opponent. Alabama got the perfect opponent. It could have been Michigan. They probably would have blanked Michigan. Penn State would have given them a bit of a fight, I think. But they still would have won. So, yeah. I think it was all set up to get the rematch. Because that's what everybody wanted anyway, was the rematch. Clemson and Alabama. Alabama is going to win it all because they know how to beat Clemson. And they're a better team this year than they were last year when they beat Clemson, I think, personally. They got a better quarterback. I know they're talking about he fired Lane Kiffin and all this crap, but it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter anyway. I got a head cold, too. Can you hear it in my voice? I got a head cold. The bowl season was not that fantastic this year, in my opinion. Pretty rough bowl season. Iowa got shellacked by the Florida Gators. Perfect opponent for the Florida Gators. Michigan fought off Florida State, but again, Florida State was the perfect opponent for Michigan. They just all ran into perfect opponents for the most part. Horrible bowl season for the Big Ten, though. Should be interesting to see how everybody's voted next year. How do you put Ohio State in the top 10 next year after getting blanked? I don't know. But they're going to be there. So that was the bowl season. The bowl season, again, not that impressive. Kind of came and went with a whimper in my house anyway. I watched most of them. A lot of them were blowouts. But it's an amateur sport, so you kind of get used to that anyway. Too many bowls. Too many of them, in my opinion. A lot of bowls. Oof, it was brutal how many bowls there were. Eesh. By the way, I do want to suggest one thing, though, for college football. What they need to do, when all the bowls are over with, national champion exclude the national champion playoff picture, all that wonderful stuff. They need to create an MVP for the bowl season, and then an MVP for the college football playoff. I think that'd be a nice thing to do because there were some great performances in the bowls, and those kids should get recognized for playing as well as they did. So I think there should be a college football bowl MVP, an overall bowl MVP, one player that played the best in his bowl game, and there should be an MVP for the college football playoff, I think. Defensive and offensive. So 2 for each. Just my opinion. It would give the bowl games, I think, a little bit more meaning, because not only are you playing to win your bowl, but if you play well, even though you're not in the championship bowl picture, you can still get an MVP of the overall bowls. You know what I'm saying? Just a thought. Let's see what else. Man, that's pretty much all I had to talk about. That's pretty much the weekend in review. Pro wrestling ain't doing much right now. WWE is gearing up for Royal Rumble, which is in a couple of weeks still, I think. Because that's like the mid-January, late January. We'll talk more about the Royal Rumble as we get close to it. My predictions for the Royal Rumble. I might do a separate video for Royal Rumble. I know there's not a lot of wrestling fans who watch this either, so I might do a separate Royal Rumble video about the Rumble. Anyway. Well, that's all I got for today. This was a bit of a long one, about a half an hour of mindless rambling. Once again, if you got any questions or comments, feel free to like this video. I always enjoy likes. Likes are a good thing. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, subscribe now, or I'll know. Like you're actually, anybody who isn't subscribed is watching this. You know who I'm talking to, all 2 of you. Yeah, Max is going to get angry. You don't want to see Max angry. You see Max when he's lovable, like he is now. Trust me, when Max is angry, he's just a gnarly ball of fur and teeth. Yarr. Show him your teeth. Show him, be mean. Don't lick me in the face. You're supposed to be mean. Show him how tough you are. Show how tough you are. See that's how vicious he can get. Don't mess with this dog. He's brutal. Questions, concerns, comments, feel free to put them in the comment section below. Leave a like. Tell your friends and neighbors. My interview's tomorrow, so there probably won't be a video tomorrow. Unless I get really good news, so we'll see. Or bad news. So I'll probably see you back here Thursday. And we'll talk about the interview, how the interview went. Look to the football games coming this weekend. Take a look at the news, what's going on in the world. No big whoop. This has been your Unemployed Superhero with Max the Wonder Dog. Say hi, Max. Say hi. He's a camera hog. Okay. You take it easy. Stay sexy, San Diego. And for God's sakes, be good to your mother. This is your Unemployed Superhero. Take care. Talk to you soon.